he puts a lot of effort into it, a lot of promotion into it, and a lot of promotes drivers really well. And he's done a good job with the surface. It was a little abrasive Saturday night, but it's one of those deals where you're starting during the day. There's not a whole lot of moisture available, a lot of wind, but the good thing is it was really smooth. We could race on it, and it didn't tear our stuff up. That's kind of what we're looking for as racers or drivers and car owners in general is where we can go and have a good race at a clean facility that's run professionally and that doesn't tear our equipment up just from racing. So he's done a real good job with it, and we thank him in this area. We thank him for putting on the big shows that he does.
Well, of course, everybody in the Carolinas or in the Southeast knows of Brett the Jet Hamm, the accolades, the successes you've had in fast track and more. But this is, of course, a national podcast on Fox Sports Radio, Community Radio Network, iHeartRadio, and more outlets. Let's get to know Brett Hamm and talk about your racing career, how you got started, and where you at today, but running super late models.
We actually started racing karts, as most people in this, a lot of people in our area do. I started probably 12 years old. I'm 34 years old now. So that's 20 couple of years ago. At the time flies by a little bit. That we started and we raced karts we raced karts probably until I was 21 or 2, till 2001 or 2, or long after that, actually 2004, we kind of played with, we raced karts for a long time, and we tried Legends car in the early 2000s. It just didn't suit my style. Nothing against them. They're great cars. It's a great deal. It's a great series for a lot of people.
Right.
I just didn't prefer it, and we wanted to get back to dirt. We were doing asphalt with that, and we went back to karts actually. And in 2007, we actually made the jump back from karts to limited late models, or dirt late model.
Gotcha.
Running limiteds here at a little track, Lawrence County Speedway, right up the road from Newberry, and about 30 or 40 minutes away from us. And that's how it all kind of got started. And we started running locally, and then we kept running locally, ran limited late models locally, crate late models locally. And then when the Fuel Series came around in 2013, I believe it is we made that jump. We wanted to do some touring and some regional racing rather than racing at the same tracks every week. And we bought a 525 and went Fuel Series racing and raced for 2 years, finished second in the points championship both years to Ross Bales. He had a good run there, and we did as well. And we had some sponsors come on board that were willing to kind of help us push to the next level. And ever since 2016, we've been running super late model with our personal car, our family car, the 18 car, and we've been chasing after that dream ever since, just trying to keep that stuff going. We're a small team, it's a one car, one engine, a few extra wheels and tires, a few extra parts, and a dually and a enclosed, and we go as far as we can and try to do as well as we can.
And, of course, me and you've known each other for probably about 5 years, if that or more, from all the racing you've done from, like you said, running late model cars in the South Carolina area to now also running fast track, and the successes you've had on fast track, winning championships, winning big races, of course, winning I think the biggest win of your career would probably be the race at Virginia Motor Speedway when you won that event. That race coming up in September, $50,000 to win. Are you going to try to run that pro late model race at the World Championship with the fast track program? I know you're told me you're pretty much more indulging on running supers, but will you try to go for that big pro late model event?
As far as I know right now, we have plans on being there, and the 75 cars I drove drove a good bit last year with the crate late models, and Wesley Page is my car owner on that side, and he's also a big boost. I mean, we work really close together. He works with us on our race car, and I work with him on his race car. And,
right.
And we, as far as I know, and the last time I've taught, we have plans to be there, and it's always Virginia's treated us well, and we run well there last year, and so it's kind of a no-brainer to be back there.
Definitely, and of course, that event paying $50,000 to win, something historic, Brett. That's why I think there's going to be such a great turnout for that event, because it's something that's never been done in the pro late model racing industry for crate racing. And mind you, Brett, I don't think it will ever happen like that again. I really don't.
Well, it's a very unique situation that the promoters up there at VMS, they've been really big supporters and Fast Track and that deal, and it's kind of an opportunity for just like Logan won the 20,000 race last year. It's a big boost for those guys, and it's a big time way to get your name out there on a national level that otherwise you maybe wouldn't be able to. And
definitely,
and obviously the money's the money. I mean, we can talk all day about that, but
yeah.
But the exposure you get from that race, and it's going to be very interesting. And what racers show up, from what series, what backgrounds. It's going to be very interesting to see, what names show up and what local or regional racers can try to steal that deal away. So
definitely.
That's going to be the interesting thing.
Wrapping things up here in a few minutes with the driver out of Newberry, South Carolina. I always say car number 75, but he's in the car number 18. Brett the Jet Hamm, of course. Big win at Fayetteville at Boone City, the 10,000 to win, Ed Gibbons Memorial. And how does that feel, being a winner of paying respects and homage to probably one of the most loved super late model racers, or competitors of that matter, of motorsports in the Southeast, Mr. Ed Gibbons?
It's like I've told several people, and Monday I think my phone about exploded from talking. It's a big deal. We're located. I mean, we're in Newberry. We're very close geographically to the Gibbons family, and I've worked before with Billy Cagle, who was always the crew chief, always the guy that built Ed's cars, and so I've always been. I never raced with Ed. Had the pleasure of racing with Ed. When he had his accident. That was right before I kind of came into the dirt late model scene or
right.
started,
right?
And right around the same time, but I've raced with Gib Gibbons, which is his son. We raced in the Fuel Series actually together, and they've always been really classy, really good people, and slick. Ed's dad, and they're just kind of, we all know them because of our location. We really knew them even before the racing side of it came into source, but they're just, it just makes it a way bigger deal for us. So back to, like I said, I like racing at Fayetteville. I like winning at Fayetteville. I like winning money. Obviously, it helps us keep racing. We just kind of turn it over and keep churning. But the having that trophy, having that big check with that Ed Gibbons Memorial insignia on it is a way bigger deal in the end. That 10 grand to be gone in no time.
That's right.
The way we race. That being on that plaque or being on the winners list of that deal will always be there. So that's kind of something you can always look back on and say, hey man, we really got the job done. So.
And I think that's the reason, Brett Hamm, why I asked that question, because money's going to come and go. Money comes, money goes. Bottom line, and if people think that drivers like yourselves or anyone else in the motorsports industry does what they do for the money, even the national guys. I mean, I'm referring to Lucas Oil and World of Outlaws, Ultimate, Fast Track, whatever, Carolina Clash. If you honestly think that you have these guys racing for the money, you better think again, because there are also, yes, there's special events like that 50,000 to win World Championship. That's going to be a big event. The World 100, the Dirt Late Model Dream, the Dirt Track World Championship, the World Finals, things of that caliber. They are big money paying events. Well, actually, I mean, I retract my statement. I mean, the World Finals at Charlotte pays basically what a regular purse pays. World of Outlaw Sprint Cars, late models get $12,000 to win Friday and Saturday, and the big block modifieds get $7,000 to win Friday, $10,000 to win Saturday. So it's not really a matter of the money there. It's the prestige of the event itself. But with that said, winning that marquee event and putting your name on the history books of being a winner of a race in honor of somebody like Ed Gibbons is what's got to be so special. And again, as we said, Brad, and I think you can reiterate on this, you guys don't do it for the money. You do it for the love and the fun and the passion of the sport. Because if you did try to do it for the money, we'd all be going bankrupt. It's the same thing the old cliche is about wanting to purchase a racetrack. If you want to buy a racetrack, and you're going to spend $1 million on the inventory and the layout and the structure to do it, you might as well put another $2,000 or $2 million in your pocket, because by the time it's all said and done, you're going to lose that $1 million that you invested in.
Yeah, it's, we try, our winnings are basically just, I mean, it basically just keeps us going, keeps us racing. We race because we love to race. We race because we love to win. I mean, I think, at least most drivers I know of, I mean, there's some people that love to race. We love to race, but we love to win. We love to be at the end of the night and know that we were the best there, that we, for whatever takes that particular night, that particular situation, our hard work paid off. And that's really what we race for. But the purse money is just a way that we can keep going. We obviously have sponsors. We obviously have personal money invested in everything, but it's that purse money does keep us going. And that's why we thank our promoters and our series and our sponsors and stuff for doing that, because otherwise we couldn't do it either. But it's definitely for the love of the sport and the love of the victory.
Definitely.
That's what we're all after.
Definitely. Hey, Brett, final question for you, buddy. What is your plans for racing this year, man? I mean, obviously, you got that big Carolina Clash win at Fayetteville. What is the plans for Brett Hamm in 2019?
We're gonna probably run the duration of the Clash schedule, just because it's really close to home, and we can. We can make it to all those races, and they're within our footprint. We'll also run ultimate super late model races in our area. We may run some World Outlaws Lucas shows when they swing through the Southeast, and just kind of depends on what our finances are and our tire allotment is at that particular time. But that's kind of the plan. We just kind of have to play it by ear. We have so many. We have one engine. We have so many laps we can run that engine. So much investment in that. So we have to kind of sit here and make a schedule out and kind of stick to it. We can't just we can't really get rogue on it and just go wherever we want. We have to kind of sit back and relax. I think we're taking this weekend off. We'll probably head back to Fayetteville Speedway again next weekend for a 5,000 Ultimate Southeast show.
That's right.
Trying to appease, that's your fast track brotherhood there. So we like all those Ultimate guys. We really like running with Ultimate when they're in the area, and we can. They travel a little bit more than we can do right now. We can't really run the full deal. But I always like running with the Ultimate Series when they're in their area. So we're just going to play it by ear. We're going to keep sticking to our schedule and keep trying to keep the car maintenance and keep the car at 100%, and hopefully we can reel off a few more victories and have a good year.
Yeah, of course, the next round for the Ultimate National Series, which is the Ultimate Super Late Model Southeast Series, the Ultimate Northeast, the Ultimate Mid-Ohio Valley, the Ultimate Deep South, is tomorrow. And I'll be there at Volunteer Speedway, Bulls Gap, Tennessee, the Spring Scorcher, the Spring Thaw, paying $10,000 to win. Of course, then they go to Friendship Speedway in Elkin, North Carolina, also coming up this weekend. And Fast Track will be at Tacoma Raceway, a track that you know very, very well in Georgia. So it's time for this snow and ice and rain and cold weather and miserable stuff to get the hell on out of here, Brett Hamm, and let's go back into racing.